Hello and welcome back to the Auto Loons channel. We are back with some more Hot Wheels Diecast 1:64 models. Yes, I do have 1:18, 1:24 models as well, but we will get to them eventually. So today, instead of having a one-car special, we have a multi-car special. This is kind of like my current lineup of JDMs. Starting with the Nissan Skyline R32, a 1990 Acura or Honda NSX, a Nissan Skyline, which is like a special series version based on the R32, and a still in pack Nissan Skyline 2000 GTR. Now we're gonna start with this. So this is a 2019 model from Hot Wheels. It's kind of like for part of their like factory fresh collection. So, there's not too many stickers going on here, just some like almost like factory branding, like from Yokohama stickering with a bit of Hot Wheels branding here. Both sides, you can see the detailing on the back with the Nissan and Skyline and GTR badging and the tail lamp stickers. The cockpit thing is again not the best visibility, but still good amount of detail. It even has the proper like the side view mirrors. Rims also look very like Nismo stock kind of finish. Not a whole lot of detailing on the underside, just a little bit on the front and rear axle. So yeah, this is like part of my new collection of factory fresh. I think you saw with the DeLorean video as well. So that's the R32 Skyline. This is actually an older model which I had as a child, so it's been played with properly. So you can see the wing is a little bit wonky because it kind of almost broke off. So this is actually also based on an R32 model, R32 Skyline. It's you could say like a tuner model, so it has the extra wider arches, you could say like a vented carbon hood, the more prominent spoiler, not much left of the factory badging, bit more detailing on the inside, on the underside, sorry, regarding what would be the drivetrain, different wheels of course, and a lot of different stickers. This is actually 2006 model, which was part of a Drop Star series from Hot Wheels, and it has this very unique metallic dark blue paint finish, which is what makes this like so pretty. And I'll be honest, until I bought that one and I held them side by side, I did not really realize that this is also an R32. As a kid, I was like, oh, Skyline GTR, Fast and Furious, Brian O'Connor. But again, things you learn as you get older and you get more knowledgeable about cars. But again, very, very pretty example, especially because of the metallic flake dark blue paint finish. This is still in the pack. You could say like, as you can tell, these are really dusty and there's a huge like dust problem. So nowadays I kind of keep my Hot Wheels kind of more in the pack if I want to. Obviously doesn't mean I'm going to sell them afterwards. I just want to keep them clean until I have like a nice storage unit to kind of keep them on display without getting dust on them directly. So this is based on this is again a 2019 model actually. It's called the Hot Wheels Rescue series. So it's not exactly factory, but there are not too many mods on it, just a nice couple of stickers, especially with some Japanese lettering, which I'm not sure what it means. So it is based on the second gen Skyline, and it's like a police version, you could say, with the lettering says so. But it looks pretty stock. The detailing is nice again in the shape and the outlines of the model. I do wish it had those like ORVMs into the model, but I think those would snap off too easily. So I can understand why they would leave it out, but again, a very nice model. And last but not least, a Honda in the collection. I have seen others, but this is the only one I've picked up. This is also a relatively new model. It's also a 2019 model. is the 1990 Honda NSX, which Americans will call the Acura. So that's why it has the Acura thing. But it's a 2019 model, even though it says, copyright of 2014. It's this very nice burnt orange color, which reminds me of like the modern McLaren papaya orange colors. These brown stripes down the side with the Hot Wheels branding as well. So it's a very nice looking NSX, and the detailing on this, especially on the interior, which you can't really see in this light, unfortunately. Can we get a different angle? A little bit. Yeah, you see that? Oh, there we go. A little bit detailing on the inside for the extremely like mostly glass kind of cabin. So apparently this is exclusive to multi-pack, so which is where I got one of these, which is why I'm kind of surprised not to see more of them in like individual packs like this. So this was part of a 3-pack series, and I found this in that. From describing the Hot Wheel model details, let's get into the cars they're based on. So considering this is a tuner spec kind of thing, we can just leave that there, not including discussion, because it's just a tuner design body kit model. This is the R32. This is actually, let's go back. Let's start with the one that came first. Technically, so this is based on the 2nd gen GTR. So this is when they went for the more, typical coupe styling, with the short rear end and longer front bonnet. It has a front-mounted 2-liter 6-cylinder engine, which from factory made about 160 horsepower and 176 Newton meters of torque. Rear-wheel drive, manual only. So if you can see a little GTR tag on the tail next to the tail lamps. If I can get the light to capture that, yeah, see that? Yeah. So yeah, I'll take it out on the box someday, and you'll see a photo of it on Instagram once I have a nice display case for these models to kind of stop them from gathering dust like these ones have. So that's the Nissan Skyline 2000 GTR 2nd gen, 2-liter inline 6. Then the 3rd gen came with a huge difference. First of all, being it was the first series which gets all-wheel drive. And also it's the first one which has a turbocharged engine. So a lot of changes between that and this. So this one actually had a 2.6 liter twin turbo engine that was an aspirated unit, all-wheel drive, came with a manual gearbox. Power performance went up a lot. So this from 160 horsepower, this thing had 276 horsepower, and we got the extra turbos with way more torque, 353 Newton meters of torque. That's more than double the power outputs in terms of torque, and more than 100 HP horsepower than the previous gen. So again, a very critical model in this Nissan Skyline series. And if you see any videos of actual Skylines, IRL Skylines, this thing had one of the best sounding engine notes for a twin turbo V6, especially from that era. So go check those out. Now this is the more, let's say, the most recent of these models here, technically speaking, in the real world. The Honda NSX is special for a lot of reasons, starting with the fact that it was probably one of Honda's first mid-engine sports cars. That's why the name NSX actually kind of was an acronym for a project named New Sports Car, and the X was for the unknown world, like this is venturing into new territory for them. So look at the detail on those tail lamps, man, compared to the other models. It's very nice detailed tail lamps and the rear diffuser. So this is a mid-engine sports car from Honda in 1990 model. This one is. Another reason this is really special is because it was developed along with inputs from then world champion and all-time legend, the late Ayrton Senna. It has a mid-mounted 3-liter V6, which made from factory about 270 horsepower and 285 Newton meters of torque. So for that time, it was kind of on par with its power outputs for a sports car. Of course, it had VTEC as well, so the notorious Honda VTEC engines, which kind of, you know, had the little extra oomph at the top of the red line. So it was a very special model in that time, so special in fact that Honda actually made a new one in 2016, a new gen Acura / Honda NSX. I'm hoping to get a larger scale model of that one, which you can follow me at Auto Loons. So, you know, I'll be posting pictures of cars I spot while out and about, news updates regarding interesting cars that have come out, and sometimes F1 news updates as well, and of course photos of my diecast collection as well. I'm kind of really pushing Instagram this year, and if you have any suggestions for how to maintain them or store them, let me know in the let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed this episode of small reviews, and I'll hopefully see you again next month at the latest, but there might be more content coming soon.